Hello, I'm Alan. I've got lots of things to do today, so what I'm doing instead is procrastinating. And what I'm going to do is try to fit a CarPlay unit to my Yaris GRMN. It is one of the things that makes it feel a little bit old. I mean, it is a 7-year-old car now on a much older platform. I fitted a CarPlay, you can't see because it's all steamy. I fitted a CarPlay computer to the Lexus beside me before I left the US. And yeah, I've got used to that. So the old Touch2 system here in the GRMN, down there, is feeling pretty clunky, and frankly, I'm bored of paying money for map updates. So let's see how we go with this unit that I got from AliExpress. I'm going to put you up on the door and see where we go from there. Right, I've never taken this Yaris dashboard to bits before, but all you need normally for a Toyota dashboard is a 10mm socket on an extender, a small crash, a Phillips screwdriver, and a set of these. These are fantastic trim tools. If you're ever playing around with the inside of your car, these are well worth buying. Right. Anyway, I'm not going to talk too much more because I really do have loads of stuff to do. So I'm going to try and take this dash to bits. Oh, I have coffee as well. So I'm going to start. I have to remove all of this piece here. It goes right the way up to this top corner beside the steering wheel. That's why I'm sitting on this side of the car. First thing to do, remove all of this, and then we can start to take the stereo out. There we go. Don't forget to take the bit around the binnacle out. Binnacle's a piece I have to be careful of because it's unique to the GRMN, and every part that's unique to the GRMN costs a small fortune. You can see that some models here used to have a cubby hole as part of the architecture. That's all been taken away, but it's good because I've got a nice space to mount the CarPlay computer. Here it is in here. This one cost about £70, 70 to £80 from AliExpress. You can get them for 100 and something on Amazon. But it's very simple, little box. So I'm hoping that will fit in there a bit like that. Maybe the other way around. We'll see. But that should be quite neat. The computer is quite tidy and quite small. But what it comes with is a wiring loom. There's quite a lot of wiring loom, so we're going to see how that goes together. There aren't really any instructions. I checked out how to take the dash to bits, and that's it. I'm on my own from here on. But, you know, I've stripped other Toyotas down before. Move that a wee bit. Close that out there. Okay, that comes off like that. Like that. Simples. Looks like the stereo comes out with 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. Ah, it's smaller than a 10. Silly me. It's an 8. No. It's an 8. One of the nice things about working on Toyotas, I'll take that out and put that into the screwdriver in. One of the nice things about working on Toyotas is that they do use the same set of rules across all their cars. It's not like some of the European brands, for example, where every model you have to learn a completely new way of doing things. And I guess that's one of the strengths of Toyota. I don't know why I'm doing this, because I could just use the crosshead screwdriver, which I waved at you at the beginning. But I just prefer using a socket. It means I'm not going to mash the heads, really. And very often, they're made of cheese. Speaking of cheese, I seem to have found a new use for the baguette holder. Screws. wonder how that wiring loom is going to go. Where the hell that screw has just gone. Okay, let's lift this out and then rescue that screw, in the hope it doesn't fall down the inside. I think it's just fallen down inside. It has. Right, let's see what we can see. Oh, I can't see the screw. There it is. Oh, now it's fallen all the way down. Okay, screw's gone. It'll be fine. There speaketh the voice of experience. So, there's a bunch of plugs on the back of this. And normally, it's a case of, what I'm expecting to have to do is to basically get the ones that bridge. So, the Wii computer has, hold this up, this square one here, this big rectangular one here, and some dips switches. That's not a button, that's a cover. What I really need to do is work out which ones are which. So, by the looks of it, they are all slightly different. It should be very difficult to get this wrong, he says. Okay. There's a power can line at that end. So there's three things that need bridged across. And they're going to be black, I assume, which is that. What's in there? There's actually quite a lot of space behind this dashboard. That's great news. Just trying to make sure that I'm not pressing it with my knee in the middle of the screen. That would be bad. And expensive. We've got that one there, looks another willing chance. Is it? It's not. It's that one. Perfect. And there is one more. Where is the one more? Oh, it's about the right shape. Is it? Could be. Looks pretty likely. Alright. Happy days. Okay. We'll do that. I'm going to take this back out of here. Thread this through here. And then trying to see how neat we can get that back in. I just need this to sit in place for the minute. Sit, stay. And plug that back in again. I've got a Wi-Fi plug on here, so I need to do that. Apologies. Just a bit of ASMR if I shut up. And I have this Wi-Fi. It's a little Wi-Fi antenna. It's for the wireless CarPlay. I'm going to stick it on this front bit here if I can. There's a little shelf. It's going to be hidden behind the plastic, but it should be nice and clear for the inside of the car. There's nothing. The instructions on this are so vague that there's nothing to really tell me what to do with it. If it's not in the right place, I can always move it. I have trim tape, double-sided tape. Don't have the ability to unwind that. But now, this. Go here. Okay, so I get the glove box up to there. That might be useful. I have another little bit which needs to be fit, which needs an output. That'll be fine. Let's stick that there just now. See, that's the last piece, which needs grounded. Maybe it doesn't. We'll see. This is just a USB and video extender. I don't know if I need that. Not if I'm going to use wireless. But let's thread this onto here. Coax socket. It's easier if I use my right hand. That's attractive. Let's do this. And boot up the car. Yeah, I don't actually want to start it, so that's fine. can't remember what all the buttons do. Hang on, that one. So that one there. I think I want to choose aux. Do I? It says device connected. Is it going to show me? EV. Oh, this is looking hopeful. Maybe. What happens now? Do I need to set the dip switches? Ah, there are dip switches, aren't there? I don't. Okay, so it's a Fujitsu unit and they all have to be off. All of the things are off. So what's missing? Why do I have a blue screen? It should be aux. Okay, so I should connect it via it's USB over there via the aux port. It's done to. Hey, look at this! Right, CarPlay for wireless. Please use your Bluetooth to your iPhone to device Bluetooth instructions on iPhone. Okay, so I'm going to connect my Bluetooth. Is it going to appear as an other? Do you think? Bluetooth. Just, yeah, connected to the Bluetooth. That's correct. I'm pairing it. Yeah, I like contacts and favorites. Hey, it's a bit grainy on here. Not wonderfully. It's not awesome, but it is saying connect to CarPlay. Hey, I've got it. So that took me 15 minutes. And there's some music which is going to cause us a problem. That's really good. I'm really pleased with that. All I have to do now, package some of the rest of this, and that's wireless CarPlay as well. Package some of the rest of this stuff together, tidy it up, and then put it all back in. So, yeah, back in a minute or two. Right, so it's a few minutes later. There've been a couple of takes of this, so it's a few minutes later than it was when I first did it. But it's all done, all in. That was really unreasonably quick, and I am genuinely surprised by how easy that was. So, let me quickly show you, because you couldn't really see the screen from up there. So here it is. It looks like CarPlay, but it also looks like the standard Toyota surround. The aftermarket surrounds, one of the things that stopped me swapping to, you know, a Pioneer or a Sony or whatever unit, is that the surrounds for here were not nearly as nice or as good quality looking as the standard ones, the ones for the double DIN systems. So that's why I really like this, make it look like standard setup. But yes, it's here. It's not the world's most responsive screen, but that's more a fault of the screen, I think, than anything else. That has always been the case with this stereo. It's always been a little bit backward. But this is a big improvement. One thing you'll notice though, it's left-hand drive. But I worked out how you can solve that. So we go back to all of our apps. We go to Car Home, which is the one which takes you back to the whatever the root operating system. We go to Settings, System, turn on right-hand drive. Now, I'm going to experiment with some of these and get back to you probably in a few weeks because I'm away for work and see how that goes. But now if I go back, hopefully it's not done it. I probably need to turn it off and power cycle, but I'm hoping that that goes over the other side. If that doesn't happen, I will come back and tell you. Failing that, in a couple of weeks' time, once I've had some use of this, I will come back and tell you how I've got on and how just generally life with it is going. But this cost me about £80 from AliExpress. They say it's about 120 if you buy it on Amazon. That still seems, from what I've seen so far, to be a pretty good deal. Result, I turned the car on and off, or off and on, and everything is now over on the right hand side as predicted. Hello again. I'm finishing off the edit of this and I've realised that I completely forgot to record an outro. I hope you found the video useful. It's very different from other motoring podcast content, and I figured it probably wouldn't work in audio only. Anyhow, if you are interested in the motoring world, fancy a weekly 45 to 60 minute motoring news podcast to fill a commute or accompany you while you work from home, you can subscribe to the Motoring Podcast News Show here on YouTube or via any good podcast player.